And we have Congressman Kevin Brady on the phone. Congressman, thanks for joining the George Jarkesy Show.
George, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You've got quite a fight on your hands up there right now.
Yeah, we really do, both on getting the financial house in order for the country and for the government, but also, we got some significant roadblocks to the economy. The Fed is, just pumping money out there and confident it can pull it back in time. And, the jobs report Friday, you referenced it, but, boy, that was, I'd have to say, you're always rooting for a good jobs report, but that was dismaying in just how small the number of jobs were, and more importantly, that 500,000 people quit looking for work. And here we are, nearly 4 years after the recession ended. This is that's just not a sign of a healthy economy.
It's amazing to me, though, at just how quick the numbers were sort of, swept under the rug.
Yeah.
Why is it that these numbers are horrible, and yet people just want to sweep them under the rug?
I think part of it is unfortunately, a lot of the national media buy into the government stimulus, let's spend more money, deficits don't matter, thinking. But, boy, in real life and businesses, you look at the businesses we deal with in Texas, for example, back home, the new taxes matter, the new health care regulations and mandates matter to their job creation. The new red tape and regulation just rolling out of Washington. These are real roadblocks, and they think that these numbers are the reason we have them is because of these roadblocks in the economy.
Well, you've been fighting on this front now for a while. You've got your Sound Dollar Act. Just can you share with me what the Sound Dollar Act will do to sort of set things right if you can get that passed?
Yeah, and really, I appreciate, by the way, if we want America to maintain the strongest economy in the world for the next 100 years, we need to get the role of the Federal Reserve right. And it's not the role they play today, which is to pump a lot of money in the economy and sort of pump up the stock prices and then hope they can pull all that money back before there's real serious inflation on families and businesses. We think the right role is that if they protect the purchasing power of the dollar, if we focus them on a sound dollar over time, that's the best foundation to boost our economy. It's the best way to create jobs. And for families, when the value of the dollar goes down, frankly, for all their hard work, they can purchase less and less and less. And so we really want to reform the Fed, focus them on what they can do well. We want to get them out of picking winners and losers in the credit market through housing. We want to open up their decision-making body, the Open Market Committee, to the entire economy, not just so much Washington, New York. If we do those things and really get them focused, frankly, the free enterprise system will create the jobs that they're so desperate for.
You hear about governments doing this, governments doing that, to set things right. What government needs to do is just get out of the way.
Yeah, and that's what you hear along Main Street. Businesses don't come to me anymore and say, boy, I wish you guys would have another stimulus program. They want Washington to get out of the way because they're eager to add more jobs. They really want to invest in this future. But, boy, they look at all the regulation coming down on the new health care law, the president's new health care law, or Dodd-Frank, the new regulations dealing with banks.
It's interesting to me that you brought up the Sound Dollar Act and the place of the Federal Reserve, because now there are 12 states where they are trying to make a position for gold and silver, and that should be a big sign to Washington when the states are all going a different direction than Washington is.
Well, you're right, and George, tell you what, the reason I like being on your show, I didn't realize 12 states have taken some step in that direction. And I think the two big drivers, my guess, is one, the more the money the Fed prints, the lower value the dollar gets, the less far your hard work goes. The less your dollar buys, either in the marketplace or if you're investing it, the more damage it does to your family and to your business. And the second concern, I think, is that the fear that the Fed will print money to the point it just monetizes the debt, drives up inflation. As you know, inflation steals from your paycheck, deflation steals your job. Both of them are very bad for the economy and for our quality of life. That's why I still think at the end of the day, the Federal Reserve, when it's focused over the years on protecting the purchasing price of the dollar, when they've done that, a sole focus, our economy has boomed longer and deeper. Our recessions have been shorter and shallower. This is the model that's already been proven to work. But today, with their focus on two goals, unemployment and a sound dollar, price stability, one of which at times works against another, I think they've confused the marketplace, actually added more uncertainty, certainly have driven down the value of the dollar. The only reason it's hanging tight is that the rest of the world, frankly, we're the best-looking horse in the glue factory right now as far as investment, but that won't always last.
But still, it bothers me that we could be taking a leadership role to pull the entire world out of this slump, and yet, we're in stalemate in things like the Sound Dollar Act or the MAP Act or the Centennial Monetary Commission Act, things that could help get our country back on the right track. Don't move fast enough for me. You're a more patient guy than I am, but for me, I want them yesterday.
Yeah, I do too. And you made this point last time we visited that this isn't just it's not just a case of an economy in America that's not performing the way it should. This is a missed opportunity for America to lead the rest of the world because these economies are struggling. And with the right model, in fact, it's ironic we're talking the day that Margaret Thatcher passed away, because she really sort of challenged the whole world with this. Wait a minute, I believe in being fiscally sound as a nation. I believe free enterprise should trump government. The government should get out of the business of business. In fact, she privatized a number of major industries there. And she really took on her own Fed that was trying to print their way out of problems. She said, look, you're working against the long-term future of Great Britain. Stop it. And so here we are, that model, which still works today, frankly, in a major way. That's now out of vogue in America, unfortunately. While they should be leading in this approach, are actually leading the opposite direction. Stimulate, borrow, government direct our way out of the recovery. It's not working.
We've become, as a nation, almost like drug addicts to get the stimulus. Well, we got to have more stimulus. Why?
Yep.
Because my savings account is, because my 401k is hurting, because my stocks are down.
Yeah.
And this is so temporary in its fix.
That is a great way of saying it, both from the standpoint of, we're looking for that next Red Bull, that sugar high. And there are ways to boost things in a very short frame, but they don't fix the underlying a problem. And the other point you made about business really going after the crumbs of government, I think I'm going to steal that phrase, because right now, one of the challenges we've got in the country, especially talking with younger people coming out of college and others in high school, is that they see the limited opportunities of government and think, wow, that's a lot. What they're not seeing is the unlimited opportunities that come from free market, with the ability to fail or succeed on your own, then step back up and fail again, and then finally succeed. Well, we are not getting that message out, and you said it just perfectly. And now I think we've got the business community that sort of bought into the same limited opportunities from government. Politics now just sort of, you're right, it is overwhelming and it's disheartening, but this is not going to last. And we're actually going to win this fight. And this is a fight worth being in. So, George, thanks for having me on. You're such a great voice of free enterprise.